got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive. And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong? And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Desert Adventures in Arizona, coming to you live from the Ironwood Forest National Monument. Thanks, everybody, for being here on this Monday morning. I hope you've got your coffee. I've got mine. Thanks, Ava Potterfield, for the shout out this morning. Appreciate it very much. Ava's live at 6 o'clock Arizona time, and it's always a fun Monday morning watching her. She also has live streams on Friday night, which we really enjoy. We actually sit down and eat dinner while they play music for us. That's fantastic. So if you haven't checked out Ava Potterfield and Friends, be sure you do that. Let's see who we have in the house. Looks like Sandra was here early. Good morning, Sandra. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well. Diane Phoenix is here. Good morning, Diane. Channel member, first channel member in the house is Jolly Matilda. Good morning, Tracy. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well over there in Virginia. Another channel member, Roy and Becky's Travels. Now remember, Roy and Becky's Travels will be live at 10 o'clock Arizona time, so that's 2 hours from now. So be sure to pop over there and say hi. We have Step Van Dan, hello, and big hugs from Minnesota. Good morning. See who else we have here. Another channel member, Mo Bang for Your Bucks. Good morning, Tim. Good to see you. Tim does great videos on low budget van builds, and he's really good at it. Let's see who else we have here. Scrolling. Catherine Cook is here. Good morning, Catherine. Thanks for being here. Good morning. See who else A&M Prospecting is here. Good morning, A&M Prospecting. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well. All right, scrolling. There's Ava saying hello. Ava was showing us her new camera this morning that they bought, her and Doug bought, and looks like a really nice camera. They're going to have some great shots with that. Let's see who else we have. Old man King Homestead is here. Peter is here. Good morning, Peter. Thanks for joining us. Peter has a live stream just about every day in the week. Steve and Tina Jewell are here. Good morning. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Good to see you guys. Steve and Tina do live streams also. Always interesting conversation. Look who we have here. Bree is in the house. TGIF. Good morning. Be sure to catch her Waterfall Wednesdays. They're always fun. Scrolling. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Everybody's saying hello. And moderators, any links you want to drop, go ahead and go for it. In fact, if somebody could drop Roy and Becky's Travels live coming up, that would be good. I can pin that up to the top. Roy and Becky got to run to Carl's Jr. for breakfast. We'll be watching while driving. Drive carefully. I know Quartzsite is thinning out. There's not quite so many people there. Every time my kitty is at Stonia, hears music now, she thinks it's time to dance. Oh, yeah. From listening to Ava and Doug play music. She's probably dancing with their kitties, too, because their kitties do some dancing, too. And Tim wants to know the big question. Do you dance when the music is going, Tracy? Yep, I need one too. I got a bit of a cold today. I'm working on getting over it. So if I'm coughing a little bit, I apologize. Yes, I picked Stony up and we danced around the room. So it's a thing every time we hear a song. Awesome. There we go. Steve and Tina are getting very close to 1K, Tim says. So yeah, they're up in the high 900s. So pop over there and check them out. Sub, watch a video, make a comment, and smash that bell for them. Howdy, folks. Dave Wanders is here. Good morning, Dave. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well there. Dave's been working on a box trailer over at his place in the Tucson area. Interesting little project. There's Roy and Becky's. Let me see if I can pin that. How do I pin that? I have to go over here. Oops, I just went into Roy and Becky's live. All right, I have to figure out how to pin that to the top. But anyway, everybody sees the link there. So I'm going back to my channel, live stream. And then, of course, it's running commercials again. I have to let those run because I might make a penny off of them. Yeah, my feet are tapping too, Ava. Bad Idea Lab is here, another channel member. Good morning, good morning. Appreciate you being here. Happy Place Camping. Good morning, Felix. Thanks for coming in. Happy Place Camping did a great job on redoing their trailer. They have a cargo trailer. They took everything out, repainted everything, rebuilt everything, and it looks like it's working well. Everybody's saying hello. All right, let's see what we have here. So we are in spring, right? Technically in spring, but what's happening here in the desert is it's drying out. We have had lots of rain this last couple months, and so the poppies came out, like I showed in the early intro of the live stream. So we had a lot of poppies this year. We're beginning to see cactus start to bloom. This is a hedgehog cactus, actually in our yard. And we took this picture a couple days ago. So you can see that there's some buds on the back there. And quite often the blooms are larger than the cactus itself. And I don't know how you pronounce these, but lupines, I think they're pronounced. Here's a closer photo. They're purple flowers, and they're all over the desert out there. But here's one that we ran across day before yesterday. These are called purple owl's clover. First time I have seen one of these. So they don't last long out here in the desert because it is starting to get hot. But I thought I would share those with you. Purple owl's clover is that one. Here's the lupines. I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's the purple ones here. And then, of course, the poppies. We had really nice poppy bloom. Now, while we're out, we'll usually check out these saguaros. You see this pretty strange looking, huh? This thing here. looks kind of ugly, but it's actually a genetic mutation. That's a saguaro cactus, and normally they look like a spear, right? This is the very top of one. And this is a genetic mutation. It's called a crested saguaro. They're very unusual to see out in the desert. And there are people who travel all over the state looking for these things and cataloging them, because they're very majestic and, of course, very old. So that's a crested saguaro. All right, let me get back to the chat here. So as we're drying out and getting hot, all our spring flowers are drying up too. Let me scroll back, see who we have. There's Lillian. Good morning, Lillian. Good to have you. Thanks for being here. There's Shaz73. She does a live stream, walk around live stream every morning. Interesting conversation. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Mother Nature is pretty awesome, huh? Tim, do you have some desert bloom where you're at there in California? All right, Ava sub to Steve and Tina. Thank you, Ava, for doing that. Wish I had some saguaro seeds. Excuse me. Well, yeah, each saguaro makes a couple million seeds. So I don't know where you're at, Bad Idea Lab, but I have never tried propagating saguaro. You get these millions of seeds off of one saguaro, and you might have one or maybe none that actually start growing. So it's very, very unusual. Everybody's saying hello. Tracy likes the pink ones. Chaz has lupins in my garden. Yeah, we have them too. And that, boy, oh boy, they're pretty. Lupines. Lupines? A cactus is on weed. I know it looks strange, huh, Tim? Yeah, that's true, Tracy. Tracy used to live here in Arizona. She was actually from Tucson. You definitely have to enjoy them and appreciate them while you can. So when we see them start to bloom, we run out into the desert and start taking photos and video, because they only last, in some cases, a couple weeks. Did I see Ron come in? Good morning, Ron. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well over there in Texas. We had a conversation on Ava's live this morning, and Ron was sharing about hail and riding motorcycles in hailstorms, which isn't fun at all. But Ava and Doug experienced a heck of a hailstorm, and I guess they had some really large hail coming down. And I remember I think we had a hailstorm last year around monsoon season, and it sounded like a train coming. Oki and I were outside, and it was like this rumbling sound, and it turned out to be a hailstorm coming. And boy, that was a little scary. Well, you puff and you get dizzy and you swing left and right, keep smoking, you'll be just like that cactus, Tim says. Oh, look at who we have in the house. Badge is here. Badge has been down here enjoying our warm weather, and it's getting a little warmer. Badge, you're probably getting hot, aren't you, buddy? I know you're going to be heading back north here soon. It's just starting to get nice now. Everybody saying hello to Badge. There's Brene. Oh, no, that's Gracie. Gracie and Jacques Adventures. Haven't turned on the Starlink yet, so you're doing a lot of spinning. Well, you better get that Starlink cranked up, Gracie. And Gracie, thanks for the donation yesterday. Appreciate it very much. I did a premiere yesterday showing some drone video of flying out here in southern Arizona, and Gracie made a donation, and it's appreciated very much. Gracie and Jacques Adventures are full-time nomads, travel around and enjoying life. You're a wonderful man, Badge. Bad Idea Lab says I had a baby saguaro I bought grown from seeds years ago. Ah, okay, I'm great at sprouting cactus seeds, but my collection took a hard hit this last year. Yeah, that shows that Mother Nature's in charge, huh? Oh, yeah. See, Gracie is spinning in the morning already, Tim says. Thank you, Shaz. Yeah, Badge does help a lot of people. Badge is a retired mechanic. Well, not really retired because he does step in and help folks when they need assistance. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We're moving north on Wednesday. All right, this is what, Monday? So that's day after tomorrow, huh? Well, Badge, it was certainly good to meet you and Elle while you were down here in Arizona. We really enjoyed that. And I expect that you'll be back next year because we'll certainly be up in the Quartzsite area, hanging out pretty much in the same area with Roy and Becky and CR View and all those folks. Dirt Clawed Metal Detecting is here. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Felix saying hello. Gracie's getting cranked up. She's getting her Starlink cranked up. Yeah, you're right. Everybody needs one. Good mechanic is hard to find, and Badge is definitely that. Scrolling, everybody chatting back and forth. Wee Mike came in. Good morning, Mike. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Saying hello to everyone. Yeah, Dad says it was a blast. We met a lot of awesome people, awesome time. That's great. That's great. Glad you had a good time. I think it's been a couple years since you were able to come down, so. And Dave and Badge are friends, and they got to hang out down here in Arizona, so that's good. Susan Ski is in the house. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Scrolling. Susan saying hello. Yep, heading north. Oh, there's a question for Badge. You coming to Lollapalooza? It might be the very last one. So something else that I did yesterday was I downloaded the game camera. We have a game camera on a water hole out back, and I want to share a couple of videos with you. Have you ever seen javelina? This is what javelina looks like in Arizona. Here's another one. I know they look like hogs, huh? But they're called a peccary. They're not pigs. They're actually part of the rodent family. Naj is here. Good morning, Naj. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Hope your Monday is going well. Yes, I've seen them. In fact, one makes an appearance in one of our first videos. We've seen it when we were in New Mexico. Yeah. We have a lot of them here. There's like a family of like 12 that cruise around, and they hit the water hole multiple times a day. So Dave has got a request for a badge. Would you swing by the house? The air in my tires needs to be rotated. You might as well change rotate the caps on the plugs, on the air plugs. So while you're there, knock out two birds with one stone. Yeah, they do look like pigs. They act like pigs. They like to wallow around in the mud. They look like wild hogs. They're getting more and more prevalent down here. Now, there is a hunting season for them. Scrolling. Yeah, not hogs. They're actually javelina. Javelina. They're pronounced javelina. Box Fan D is here. Good morning, D. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, it's fun. I put a game camera out there at the water hole, we call it. We keep water for the critters, especially during the heat of the summer. We see bobcat. We see, of course, javelina. We see coyotes. We see kit foxes come in. Sometimes deer. We haven't seen deer in a while, though. Yeah, they're good and healthy for sure. They actually eat cactus. Their main food is the prickly pear cactus. Thanks, Dan. Looter 8 Treasure. Hunter is here. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Yeah, that's so cool. You always think of them as wild pigs, even though they're not. They stink like pigs. Yeah, they have a sack on the back there. It's for scent, and they smell really musky. You can actually, when there's a large group of them down in the wash there, you can actually smell that musky smell. Now I'm saying hello. So Diane says she's going to Dallas in mid-October for 3 days. That was that meetup you were talking about on Ava's live. That sounds like it'll be a fun time. Yeah, I am too, Ron. You guys normally have a lot of deer down in Texas. Scrolling. Do they taste like pig? Yeah, they kind of do. I mean, it's been, my dad and I used to hunt them when I was a kid growing up. I haven't, when I left home and went into the military, I didn't do any hunting, and I still haven't done any hunting since we came back to Arizona. I remember eating them, and when I was a kid, and they tasted fine. It was like pork, I guess. It's kind of gamey. Lillian's taken off. Okay, Lily, have a good day. Yeah, usually you don't see that many. Yeah, Dee, you're right. But we have a family of them living here. They'll actually dig underneath the fence to get into water if they need to. Yeah, that's a good way to start it off. Bad Idea Lab. You can set up a watering hole, buy a game camera, set it on either take pictures or record. I have mine set on 20-second videos. It works pretty good. You get a lot of birds, birds coming and going, but you get the occasional interesting animals. I will lose it if you tell me they taste like chicken. No, Dan, it doesn't taste like chicken. It's been so long I can't remember. I remember a gamey taste because Dad used to cook them. Dad and Mom used to cook them all the time. Yeah, there are deer out here, but we also get poachers out there too. Very true. There's so many thousand acres of land out here that the Arizona Game and Fish can't cover it all. They look for people to call in if they see animals that have been poached. Arizona Game and Fish is pretty good here in this state. They actually put on an event every year, and I attended it last year, or last month actually. And part of what they were showing is what they called an outdoor expo. And this is what I did to participate in that expo. So Arizona Game and Fish keeps a facility open up there north of Phoenix. It's about 1,600 acres. They have lots of pew ranges, and a lot of law enforcement from Arizona go up there and utilize their ranges. They also train their people, Arizona Game and Fish, on how to climb rocks and get into rough areas. And so they set this rock pile up for training for their folks when they're out in the rural areas of Arizona and they've got to climb a rock pile, for example. So they invited our four-wheel drive clubs in the state of Arizona to come out and show folks how we actually do four-wheeling. And we climbed all over that rock pile multiple times. We put on some demonstrations for folks that have never been out in the rural parts of Arizona. So it was kind of fun. Cookie is here. Good morning, Cookie. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing okay. Naj loves the game taste. I'm catching up here. Everybody saying hi to Cookie. Smells like a skunk is tasty meat. I don't know about that. I don't know if it looks like a pig, smells like a pig, and tastes like a pig. It's a pig. Yeah, I know. I thought so too, Badge. There's either an hawk or an eagle nest in one of my new sycamore trees. That's cool. We also saw an eagle up there, and I posted that on my Instagram account where this guy was showing a 22-year-old eagle. That was pretty cool to be able to see one that close up. This was a female that had lost one eye and went into his care because she flew into a tree. She damaged an eye. I don't have that photo here. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Texas has some big hogs. I know the Texas hogs are very destructive to the land. They sure are. Gracie has a question. If you hang out with Roy and Becky at the LTVA, do you have to pay a fee for the days you're there? We usually will pay for 2 weeks, Gracie. I think it's like $40. We'll stay for 2 weeks usually. And then you, of course, have the ability to extend also if you want to another 2 weeks, or it's what is it, Roy, $160 or something for the whole winter. And that's what Roy and Becky, CR View, bunch of folks stayed up there. Oh, RG Arizona's here. Good morning. Good morning. RG inspired me to get my game camera out. RG does some game camera video. Crafty Travelers here. Good morning, Lonnie. Thanks for being here. Lonnie just finished up a trip down in Baja, Mexico. Looked like she had a great time. And she's been posting videos on her channel. Oh my gosh, blind views. What's going on in here? I see Badge. Hey, blind views. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Been a while. Been a while. Scrolling. Holy crap, you in the wrong chat. Well, everything, the stars aligned, the sun came up, and here comes Blind Views popping in to say hi, and we certainly appreciate it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. My old hardtop Samurai went from Oklahoma to Texas, and my son spotted it in Iowa, getting turned into a rock crawler with handicap controls for a veteran. Very cool. Yeah, I like doing the rock crawling. I don't do as much anymore because, I'm getting creaky in my old age, and bouncing around on those rocks kind of hurts the day after. So Crafty Traveler says, when I stayed at the LTVA, a friend came over for dinner and she didn't pay anything. Excuse me, I'm trying to get over this cold. Yeah, I guess you can get in there, pop in there, and visit people. They don't mind that. They do watch because they give you a sticker. They do watch to make sure you're not using the trash dump or anything like that. All right, so Crafty Traveler has a Baja trip premiere coming up on the 20th. Excuse me. So be sure to run over there and check that out. Richard B is here. Good morning, Richard. Great video. Thank you, Richard. Richard checked out my drone video yesterday that I had a premiere on. I flew the drone out here in the desert, and something I really enjoy doing. And I shared that yesterday. There they are. CR View is here. Good morning, Tim. Tim, Gracie, and Crystal. Years ago, guys asked me to go rock crawling. I said, no, I don't drink anymore. LOL, wrong. Rock crawling. You know, Badge, they probably would keep you busy if you went out there, because typically when you go out rock crawling like that, something breaks. That's why you always go with someone else that has been out there and knows the area. Yeah, that's true. RG Arizona game camera is a lot of fun. You never know who stops by, right? So we walk by that water hole, day and night. Sometimes you don't see anything because they can hear you coming. And as soon as they hear you're walking up there, they're out of there. So it's nice to have that camera there. Tracy saying hello. Again, any links anyone wants to drop, moderators, go for it. Yeah, he does have a lot of visitors. He has beautiful deer up there. RG Arizona has some nice deer. They're all hanging out in northern Arizona. I've seen people posted the LTVA is putting in more dump stations. How is that progressing? Yeah, I think across the road they were starting construction, so maybe Roy can weigh in on that. I think he's driving right now. Excuse my cough. Ringo and Czar are here. Good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Crafty Traveler, if somebody could drop Crafty Traveler's link, appreciate it very much. Wee Mike has given Bad some advice. Rock crawling is when you crawl under a rock, just so you know. That's when you put your foot in your mouth, right? You put your foot in your mouth, then you go crawl underneath a rock. All right. Jolly Matilda is going to look up that link. Tyson is putting in an 8-bay drive-through, getting the ponds are well on the way. Cool. There's Lanny's link there. Cool. Thank you, Tim, for doing that. Appreciate it. So, I was thinking yesterday, different subject, thinking, right? That always gets me in trouble. So I spent 21 years, 4 months, and 7 days in the military here in the U.S., was in the Air Force. Oki and I lived many different places around the country. Of course, we met in Okinawa, Japan, a beautiful place. That's the Hawaii of Japan, in my opinion. That's where all the newlyweds go to enjoy their honeymoons. Oh, Ash's Van Life is here. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for popping in. No, I am not. I'm in home base right now. We actually live in the Ironwood Forest National Monument, Ash, and that mountain behind me, I can see out the back door. We live inside the monuments, 129,000 acres, and we have some private land out here. So we're at home base inside the monument. Anyway, So Oki and I lived a lot of different places over the years, our time in the military. We met in Okinawa, Japan. We've lived in New Hampshire, Nebraska, Virginia, Arizona. And then before we met, I did a lot of traveling, temporary duty all over the country, to Florida. Went over to Iceland once and spent about a couple weeks over there, just all over the country. And so as you get older and you reflect on what did you enjoy the most? I think I enjoyed Okinawa, Japan, but in all the travels that I have done over my lifetime, and I'm almost 67 years old, I think Arizona here in the desert is probably my favorite. Do you guys have a favorite place? So let's say if you could live someplace for a year, any place in the world, any place in the world you could live for 1 year, where would that be? Where would you like to live? Any place in the world. I think I'm here in Arizona. Like I said, we've traveled all over. I've been around the world, except for Europe. I've never been in Europe, but I've been many other places. And Arizona was where I was born and raised, and that's where we came back to live after I retired from the military. Yeah, look at that. All right, so I enjoyed a month around Sapporo, Japan. That's cool. Tim's on the phone. So where would you guys live if you could spend some time? And I'm thinking a year is pretty good, maybe just a couple months, but if you could pick a spot, where would that be? Sorry, I've got a cold, working on getting over it. Not there yet there. I have never traveled in Europe. I wanted to go, Tim, but never made it there. The Bayer family is actually from Germany, and so I always wanted to go there, but haven't made it yet. Ash's van life says Texas. That's cool. Oh, the Outback. That would be interesting. She Devil Adventures is here, late to the party, working but listening. Thanks, Tommy, for coming in. Appreciate it very much. You're just a show off, Tim. Nosh says Yellowstone National Park. Ann Jay and her husband Scott. Ann Jay does driving videos, and she just recently did a drive stream video of us going through Yellowstone. It was pretty interesting. Oki and I have never been there. I kind of shy away from crowded places. I don't like to go where I have to park, wait for a parking spot, spend time in line waiting for traffic. That's not my thing. I don't like that. Steve and Tina say Turkey would be where they would go. That would be interesting. So, enjoying a different culture, right? So, enjoying a different culture, learning. When I went to Okinawa, Japan the first time, they told us get out outside the base, learn the culture. The people were nice, and you know what? They were right, because I fell in love and married a girl from Okinawa, Japan. So it's always good to get out and experience different cultures, because what we do here is what we do here. Going to Turkey, for example, or Japan or another country, you have to adapt to their laws and their system and their culture. So Tim thinks Crete Island, Greece, European vacation island. That'd be cool. That would be cool. Diane says, under my rock, I'm not going anywhere. All right, so Crafty Traveler got a new sub. Thanks, Ash. Abraham Lake, Alberta. Oh, that sounds interesting. So Lonnie says, I like Arizona, but maybe around Prescott, not as hot in the summer. Yeah. And that's what we do, Lonnie, is when it gets really hot down here, we'll jump in the RV and we'll head up to the forest around that area and park underneath the trees and enjoy the cool weather. Tracy says Scotland. Oh, that's interesting. Another great country. Felix says, I don't know if I can answer that. I want to check any place out first before committing to a year. Now, just to visit, I'd love to see Ireland. Yeah, that's a good point. Because if you were stuck there for a year and you hated it, now that wouldn't be any fun. Ah, I was there for 4 months during my TDY and I loved it. Yeah, that was a nice thing. So Tim was in the military and did some traveling as I did, and that's one of the perks of being in the military is being able to travel. Blindview says, I really like Savannah, Georgia. I would like to go to Germany. That would be cool. I've heard Savannah, Georgia is a beautiful place. And Germany, of course, different culture. Um, my family actually immigrated from East Germany back in the 1880s. They came across to New York and immigrated to Nebraska. And back then, they were giving away land for farmers. All you had to do was improve on it. So they got 80 acres of land and started farming there in Nebraska. So it was pretty cool. Dave says Ireland. Dave Wanders would like to go to Ireland. A lot of good ideas. Ireland would be cool. I lived in Guam for 30 years before moving back to Oregon in 2021. Loved it there. You know, Dirt Clod, I also went temporary duty to Guam a couple of times during my Air Force time. It is a beautiful island, small island, and but there's still plenty to do there. Oh, he's saying Mars. Okay. You got to talk to Elon Musk to get to Mars, I think. He's working on that bad idea. You may have to pay for that one, though. So CRV says we spent 2 years up and down the Oregon, Washington coast. I could do it again. That's something that Oki and I want to do too. We've been up the coast in Southern California, where the seals are, and we stopped there. We have not been up the coast all the way up to Oregon, so that's on our list to do someday. But again, I don't like the crowds, so we've got to figure out a good time to go. Yeah, Mars. That is funny. But if anybody can do it, Elon Musk can do it because I'm talking to you over his system. I've got Starlink on the house. It's pretty amazing stuff. Well, 1 year, there's no place like home for a whole year. And Box Van D, that Oki would agree with you. She's a homebody. She enjoys her place. She's made a nice little paradise here where we live. And Dee, we hope to show it to you someday. I will be sharing my new original song on my live Saturday night on my channel. No link to the live out just yet. Okay, so Saturday night, Box Van D. Now, Box Van D is a musician, and she writes her own music, and she's got some good stuff. It's very emotional, I would call it, very emotional songs, heartfelt songs, and very interesting. Just love it. I need to be warm in the winter. I hear you. Don't like to be cold. Been there, done that. I was going to say Waters Campground in Tucson, Arizona. Only in the winter, right, Badge? Waters Campground in Tucson. So Felix says, visit Yellowstone very early in the morning. Like no peeps there at all. Okay, that's good advice. Tracy says, Manitoulin Island, Canada. That's interesting. He's been to Bali twice, so it would be fun to go there for a year, but only with good air conditioning. Yeah, I hear that. Susan says, Ireland, but as your wife, I'd have to drag you to get you on the plane. Excuse me. Turkey. Wonderful country, wonderful, lots of people. Yeah. I actually went temporary duty over to Israel years and years ago. And boy, oh boy, what a culture that is over there. I have been to Europe on trips: Paris, London, Germany, Austria, Italy, all good places to visit, but wouldn't want to live there. It's definitely a different life, huh? Eternity in heaven would be awesome. Well, Dave, I hope we all get there someday, but not too soon. Oh, okay. So Savannah has a lot of old architecture. All right. So Felix is getting back to work. Thank you very much, Felix, for popping in. We're coming up on 57 minutes. Well, thanks, Blind Views, for joining. Appreciate it very much. You guys haven't seen Blind Views. He has some very interesting discussions on his live streams. I go in there quite often and lurk. Good stuff. Thank you very much again, Blind Views. Yeah, lots of snorkeling and hiking in Guam. That's a big sport over there. Is snorkeling, diving, and hiking. Bad Idea says, I was stationed in Hawaii, so they always send us to countries during the winter as punishment for living in paradise. Oh, yeah. And that's so you don't get too spoiled, right? I know when I was stationed in Okinawa, they would send us to South Korea temporary duty in the wintertime just to make sure we knew how to wear our cold weather gear. And boy, living in tents with an oil-fired heater in South Korea, not my cup of tea, but you do what you have to do. Badge, you and L are always welcome, and Badge is welcome out here anytime too. You are rocking it, Blind Views, says Bree. There's Blind Views link right there. Ah, shucks. Appreciate it, Blind Views, very much. $14 a night at Dave's place? That seems kind of cheap, Dave. I think you could double that maybe and make a little money. Sorry, folks, working on getting over this cold. Hopefully, I'm not blowing your eardrums out. I thought it was all water and food you got, but you got to fix things. That's right, Badge. You got to earn your keep, buddy, right? Yeah, Badge has some good lives for sure. He gets 50 watching and 1,000 lurkers. Some very interesting. And Badge says it like he sees it. Oh, keep that stuff to yourself. What, the $28 a day versus 14? Sorry. Badge, my ulterior motive, is to get you over here in the Ironwood Forest National Monument. Dave and Susan need a break from you once in a while, right? All right, folks, we're at 1 hour. I'm not gonna go any farther. So let me kick off my outro here. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for the new membership. Appreciate it very much. And we will see you next time.